G'day, it's Robbie again. Well, after all the confusion and excitement in the last video, the dust has settled on the Schaublin buy, and I've had a good look at it, and I think I've got a pretty good handle on what's going on and what I've actually got. So I'll give you the update and you can see what exactly is what. The 102 headstock is identical, almost identical to mine. The only minor differences are that it's got a dark metal rather than bright metal front spindle bush retainer, and it doesn't have a notched rear bush adjuster. It's just got a plain ring, so I'll have to see how that comes apart. A lot of people think that the front one is a bush adjuster the same as the rear, but it's not. All it does is hold in the front bushing. All the adjusting is done on the adjusters on the spindle, either side of the pulley. I'm really pleased that this has got the original oilers, because I don't have them, and even though one cap's missing, this cap is there and I can easily copy that and make another one. You won't be able to tell the difference. So great, that's worth every bit of the money I paid. The compound is actually a Schaublin compound. I thought it looked like Swiss, and it looked like Schaublin the way they did the gib adjusters. That's got that Schaublin style and size. As it turns out, it's a compound off of an SV120, which is a bigger later model lathe. I did find a number on it. I pulled it down and it's got C361 on it. So this is no good to me, so this will be sold. Also, in amongst the bits, I found what looks to be the retaining block that holds it, locks it up onto the bed, yeah. This is interesting because these 120 SVs, basically, the photos I've seen, they have a regular carriage. So this looks like it replaces the carriage and turns it into a toolmaker's lathe. So if anybody with a SV120, they might find this pretty interesting. And I will be selling this, so we'll see what happens with that. Okay, now the tailstock. The tailstock is mighty interesting because it's definitely Schaublin. It's all original. I've taken the ram out, and as you can see, I've given it a clean up so I can use it. But it's got two interesting features about it, which, yeah, it's very unusual. One, there is no graduation on the ram. Normally, you know, a tailstock, well, Schaublin would have a graduation on the ram, so there's nothing on there. So Morse 2, which is, well, almost unobtainable, so it's a specialised ram, because they were all Morse 1s or the earlier 2 degree special Schaublin taper. And also on the back, there's no indexing scale on the rear collar here either, and the handle is much bigger than you would see on a regular tailstock. So I think this is made for industry for a specialised use, and it also has left-hand thread. It rotates anti-clockwise to make the ram come out. Now that's really weird too. So yeah, it's all original as I mean, I've been through it, and there's nothing there that doesn't look like it's ever been replaced. It's got virtually no wear in it whatsoever. It's totally tight as a drum on the weight, which is great because my original 102 has got a bit of wear in its base, and I had to allow for that setting up. So this will be really handy, and I'll definitely be keeping this for sure. This was probably the correct colour for it, but as I got a black lathe, I'll probably paint it black, and I've got black paint left over, so too bad. You know, I'm going to be using it obviously a fair bit, so probably more than the original one because it's a lot tighter. Everything's drum tight on this. So yeah, interesting, very interesting tailstock. No graduation on it, no big deal, because I can easily work without that. I very rarely use the graduations anyway, and normally would use a dial indicator to you know, do cuts and stuff. So anyway, yeah. And the other thing is too, I knocked off, buffed off the paint. I mean, I pulled it all down, but I buffed off the paint off the back with this style. Schaublin generally didn't paint this last section when they were stepped down like that. So when I go to paint it, I probably paint it back to this first collar here with an oiler on top, which is unusual for Schaublins too, because the Tailstock generally didn't have an oil port, and I couldn't imagine them painting over the oil port, so I think this has been overpainted by somebody in the past. But certainly it's in great condition, and it's a really heavy, strong ram on this, so this will be good. This will be very, very, very useful. I put a Morse 2 in it. Whoops, it's not bolted down at the moment. And when I slid it up to the headstock, absolutely spot on alignment, you know, which is pretty incredible. I mean, you can take bits from any Schaublin, put it on any other Schaublin on that, in that same model, and everything will line up and fit correctly. Even the pull down, it's got a different pull down lifter in the bottom, so I'm going to swap over the one from my old Tailstock. They're just totally interchangeable. There's no different. Everything fits. Everything is swappable throughout all the Schaublin stuff in the same range. It's incredible, really. Anyway, so what about the bed? The bed is not a Schaublin. I'm quite positive on that. It looks like a Dura bed at first glance, but it's not. On a Dura, the ends of the bed from the foot back to the end come up on an angle. These are totally parallel, saying straight away, definitely not Dura. There's no brand markings on this whatsoever. And the other noticeable difference is that the slot through the middle is probably twice as wide as a slot, centre slot in a 102. So says straight away, definitely not Schaublin. But it's a good solid bed, and it certainly will take all the Schaublin bits. So yeah, well worth getting, and well, useful. Okay, what else? Well, I got a whole lot of bits and pieces with this thing, so I've been through them, and we can have a look and just see what exactly was in that little box, or those two small boxes. Right, well, there's a heap of goodies here. Going from left to right, we've got some bronze brazing rods. We've got a heap of boring bars. This one's in a big brass block. There must be 10 to a dozen boring bars. Some are homemade, some are custom factory jobs like that. That's a beautiful boring bar. A few bucks worth there. This guy was obviously big on boring bars, and there, moving over, we've got a whole lot of high-speed steel cutters here. We've got parting off blade, a little cutting off disc, Allen key, tool holder, probably for a boring bar. Quite a nice one, that one. A lot of these boring bars are round, whereas I use square sections, so to be good, I'll have to, or useful, I'll have to make up a holder. No big deal. That could be another video down the track showing you various ways you can do that. Then we've got a dovetail cutter here. Looks pretty good. Looks like it's never been used. And there's another one. It looks like a blank. He started trying to make a dovetail cutter. You can grind high-speed steel to make them. I might finish that off one day. We've got a grindstone here on a mandrel that goes in a die grinder, a little tap key. There's a little angly thing here, which is all rusted up, but I'll give that a go with electrolysis and get the rust off. And it's probably a little swinging angle finder. It's pretty delicate. I don't want to use a wire buff on it, so I'll use electrolysis on that. There's a whole bunch of ammo clips here, military style bullet holders for, I presume that's what they are, they look like to me, for cartridges. G-clamp, big hunk of steel here, tweezers, stainless steel bar, round stock, various bits and pieces of round metal. That looks like it's something pretty useful. Might have to check that out, see if that goes in with anything I have as far as lathe stuff. Looks like it's precision. Okay, we'll check that out later. Some more steel, bit of brass, steel round stock, hexi, various sizes of hexi, quite handy stuff. More solid around. This is a whole lot of high-speed steel. Looks like he's been cutting it and using it for tooling, so yeah, interesting. Some more what is possibly high-speed steel. 3 external chuck jaws. Now the chuck was missing on this when I got it, and so was the tool post, and I reckon somebody flogged them, and they've obviously flogged taken the chuck, and it's probably had the internal jaws in it, and they never took the external. So I've got a set of external jaws, and they are marked that's interesting. What's that? Number 2. So they are marked 1, 2, 3, but they're marked in Helvetica numbering, which is what the British used to use. And the original chuck that came with my old 102 was BSA bricks. Yeah, it was a BSA brand, and Birmingham small arms. It was totally shot. It was worn to hell. So I chucked it out. Everything was worn. It was non-repairable. So these could be out of a BSA chuck if these are the original scroll chuck jaws that came with Schaublin, because I think Schaublin did have BSA chucks on them in Australia anyway, originally. Okay, what else we got? Not much more. Oh yeah, over here we've got a, you see it? Yeah, this is a drill powered jigsaw attachment, ETC. Well, I've got a jigsaw, but that might be handy for something. You never know what you can do with that. If you want reciprocation motion. Here's the link belt off of the lathe. It will fit my current setup. It's just slightly longer, but if the poly belt on mine breaks, I can always put the old link belt on and keep her going. These are the wicks out of the oilers. Now, Schaublin's never used a rope wick, so somebody's put those in. Schaublin always used a little wire, little J-shaped piece of wire as a wick, and it's a clever thing using wire wicks, because you can, by varying the diameter of the wire, you can vary the siphoning effect of the oil on the wire. Instead of siphoning up through the centre, it siphons up on the outside. Yeah, works fantastically, and so you know, somebody's put those in, but they're not the right thing. But anyway, all handy. What else? Oh, a little G-clamp, tweezers. I think I said that. V-belt, often fits something. There's an idler pulley, a round one. Well, that's a bit useless. It's be for rope. Who knows? And we'll look to the right. What else we got? Oh, we got. That's my goggles. I haven't got. Didn't get them. There's a box here with some, looks like shims in there where he shimmed up his headstock. Some little screw things. I don't know what they are. Spool off of a fishing reel. Big piece of aluminium block. That's quite good. Quite handy. Some more steel. Some lightweight, almost carbon. I think that could be possibly carbon cylinders. Now, this is some of that stuff you use to wipe over your sanding belts to declog them. It's just poly of some sort. Big hunk of heavy steel were based off something. Oh, good. I mean, you could make a backing plate out of that. In fact, that it could even be meant for a backing plate. It's cast iron, and that'd be, yeah, great for a backing plate. So. Handy. Plug of steel there. The pulley. Nuts and bolts and things. And another one of those idler, round, ropey sort of pulley things. And some coiled wire and some sanding paper and a block of wood. So there you go. You've got to say, that was all pretty impressive. So, I mean, yeah, I really like this. This is neat. This is a nice job. So, yeah. Down the track I'll make up a holder for these because I generally use the longer stuff. These are probably too short to go in what I've got for a tool post. But you would make up a little holder like that, just mill a slot and just hold them in. Yep. Okay, well that's it folks, that's it. Everything's under control now. It was all a bit hyper frantic there in the last video. I was so confused over what I really did have. There were so many questions there that I needed answering. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I'm on top of everything now, and from here on in it's just a matter of, yeah, restoration. That'll probably take quite a while. I mean, I'm in no rush. I will do the tailstock up as fast as I can because that will be really handy, really, really handy. Apart from that, well, stay tuned for a few more videos, and yeah, that's it for now. Okay, see ya.